Hey guys, it's rowisingh here. So you're probably wondering, what have I just clicked into? Because this is crazy. But today I'm doing something a little bit different, a little bit more fun, and a little bit more abstract. I've had the absolute pleasure of working with Nike for their upcoming release of the Airmax 720, which is all about celebrating just going bigger. For me, makeup has no limits and no boundaries. There's so much potential to create absolutely whatever you feel, and there is no rules. There's no such thing as too much or too little. It is completely up to you, and I think that's the best part about my job, is that I have complete control to create and present to you guys the inner workings of my mind. So I've actually done this look inspired by the Nike Airmax 720. So obsessed with this coloring. The holographic and iridescent detailing and that sparkly violet blue in the gel of the shoe is so cool, and I'm so grateful that Nike are just allowing me to go for it and just create exactly what I want, which is what I've done. So if you want to see how I created this really fun and abstract look, then just keep watching. So I'm going to focus on my area of expertise, which is I've done my base, I've got my concealer done pat, brows, etc. The nitty gritty bits are done. Now we can move on to more exciting things. I've got the Nike Airmax 720 here with me. I'm so inspired by the packaging. It's this beautiful like black box with holographic writing, but then also the packaging inside is holographic, and I wanted to sort of draw inspiration from not only the shoe itself, but the packaging too. This is the shoe. It's honestly sick. Like, it's so cool. Already I'm drawing inspiration from the blue heel, which has like a really cool sparkly blue glittery tone through it and hints of like purple. So very slick, very futuristic, almost a little bit ethereal. So I do want to encapsulate that in my makeup look. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with Too Faced Pretty Rich collection. This palette right here is so good because it has this shade called Set the Jewel Tone, and I love it because it's one of those shades that has like that two-tone effect to it. So when you like move it side to side, it color shifts. It goes from like blue to light blue to iridescent purple. Like, it's a whole situation, and I really want to put that all over my eye. Taking a crease brush, I'm going to dip in and I'm just going to buff that quite lightly into my crease. Taking a blending brush and softening that up towards the brow bone, just so it's not looking too heavy. It's very like blue pearlescent, like really shiny and very easy to blend in. I've never used this color before, so I'm like gagging right now. I'm taking that color literally all the way down here, right underneath the eye, and with these circular movements, I'm going to bring it closer to the cheekbone and a little bit up here. Pretty much everywhere. I'm just like blending it out like crazy. I wasn't expecting this shade to just sort of melt into my skin so easily. I expected it to need a bit of work to blend in because it's so highly pigmented and very glittery. It becomes very soft and extremely blendable and easy to use, so big plus. Just making sure that the crease is really pigmented as well. Just going back and forth over that area. I'm gonna go with Huda Beauty's Sapphire Obsessions palette. This is very shimmery shade, like right in the middle there, that has like bits of green and blue, and I feel like that'll look nice just on the lid. So I'm gonna take my finger, I'm gonna circle that into the shade, and then quite delicately I'm going to swipe that on my lid a couple of times to really bring that pigment out, and then use a couple of tapping motions just to really push that pigment into my lid and make it pop. And then just making sure that you're blending out those edges. And then I'm just using a flat brush just to bring that down under my eye a tiny bit. I'm going to go in with Huda Beauty's Amethyst Obsessions palette, which also has a nice shimmery shade just in the middle there. And then we're just going to circle that under the eye and blend that in. Using a very feathery touch, we're going to make sure that that purple and that blue sort of meet up and blend together really nicely. Very subtly, I want to bring a bit of pink into this look. So I'm going to use this bottom right shade here, which is also quite shimmery, but it's not as dense as the middle shade. I'm just going to very gently buff that in, just in that sort of like cheekbone area. And then just softening it as well with a big fluffy brush. Might even bring it up to the forehead area too. Oh no, that was my finger. All Alright, so I think I'm changing what I initially had in mind. I was initially just going to focus on doing an eye look, but now it's becoming like a half face look. I'm literally just colouring in my whole forehead. But in the words of Nike, just go bigger, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to make this even more extra than we had planned. I'm going to give myself a pink forehead, but with the assistance of Fenty Beauty. I've got their Killawatt foils here, which are really, really good for highlighting and just shading in your whole face. As you can see, I love this colour because I've used it to death. This one is Sangria Sunset. So I'm just going to use that same brush and buff that into my forehead, and it will start to become like very shiny, very pink. So I've decided to also connect my eye, so I'm bringing that blue shadow across the bridge of my nose. Using Fenty again, their Killawatt foil, this shade on the left here, which is called 7-Day Weekend. It's a nice lavender highlighter. I'm going to take that right through the center of my forehead and blend that out to make it look like I've got a bit of like a highlight situation going on. I'll do the same thing as well with my cheekbones. I'm just going to take that shade right here, here, and possibly the nose. Then I'm going to go back to my nose and attend to that. I'm just using that middle color from Huda Beauty's Amethyst Obsessions, and I'm gonna like just blend that into my nose. I mean, how can it be a colourful look if I'm not going to use James Charles Morphe palette? This perfect little purple right here is so nice because it's like really pigmented and iridescent like the rest of the shades that I'm using. So we're going to bring a little bit of glam into this look, and I'm going to apply some lashes. I want to add like a nice silver punch to this look, like give it like a nice drippy, very liquidy feel. So I'm going to go in with Mehron Makeup's metallic powder in silver. This stuff is really, really, really good. It doesn't grey out on your skin, which is amazing. It's so highly pigmented that it actually looks silver, shiny. You genuinely look like a statue, like a robot. Because everything I've got is so DIY. I've got this card, and I've been using that as like a mixing palette. So tip some of that powder onto my palette and then add just a tiny droplet of mixing liquid and then just mix that together. Taking that pigment, I'm just going to add little bits to my brow. My next order of business is to add silver tears to almost give the illusion that I'm leaking, like I'm a robot leaking her emotions. We're even going to go as far as to add some ear detail. Just a little bit of silver along the ear there. This is called commitment. I'm just going to add a little bit of pink detail as well. And I just want to gloss up my lips a little bit. This is MAC lip gloss. Alright you guys, so contacts are in. This is the final look. Super casual, natural, no makeup, very much of a day look going on here. Now, but all jokes aside, I honestly think it's so important to just exercise your creativity and just let it out, whether it's small or big, it doesn't matter what scale, to just be able to create, express myself, and just literally share with you the inner workings of my mind is so freeing and so liberating. And I'm so happy to be working with Nike, who completely understand that whole concept of just going big or go home. I did not expect this look to be so full on, but I really went there. It was fun. I feel like I did a pretty good job drawing inspiration from the Airmax 720 box, using bits of silver to mimic the packaging, and of course a lot of purpley blues to match that purple tone in this shoe. This look was so fun, and I'm just so happy with how it turned out, and extremely grateful that I get to work with Nike and just be myself. Thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!